the presence of the Balalo in the respective areas and directed the Attorney General to draft a law that criminalizes the unsanctioned nomadic practice of these cattle herders. President Museveni, in his Executive Order number 2 regarding the unplanned and sometimes indisciplined movement of the Balalo cattle herders into northern, eastern and northwestern parts of Uganda, has described their movement as primitive spreading of land misuse that disturbs the indigenous communities by free-ranging livestock eating up crops. We have the details.
President Museveni's Executive Order number 1 banning the unplanned movement of cattle herders, commonly known as Balalo, into northern, eastern and northwestern parts of Uganda is premised on 2 major problems. These are: 1. Problem number 1 is the question: what type of land did the Balalo buy, since most of that land is clan land? Did somebody sell you legitimately private land, or was it family or clan land fraudulently sold by crafty individuals? Problem number 2. The second problematic question the President is asking is how the Balalo fenced. Obtained information by the President indicates that some fenced areas have blocked routes to the permanent water sources, such as the River Nile, with the aim of blocking the muddy Okoros from accessing the River Nile. Is a very serious mistake, the President observed in his Executive Order number 2. In the order, the President provided a logical answer to the questions above: to remove all the cattle by the Balalo brought into the specified areas, so that to achieve 2 long-term solutions. These solutions are: 1. Ban completely any movement of free-ranging livestock from outside the specified areas and criminalize the practice. 2. The committee I have set up to audit the claims of those who say they bought legitimately, have fenced their farms securely, have permanent water sources on those farms, and have not blocked access to the permanent water sources. This, however, will happen when the cattle are out of the area and without the tension that presence is generating. The President also revealed in the Executive Order number 2 that it should be remembered that these blind actors had at one time invaded Tanzania, going into the national parks of that country. These indisciplined actors have been responsible for the repeatedly important foot and mouth disease from Tanzania, leading to the closure of the modern dairy and beef industry of Uganda for months.
Now, Balalo cattle herders in northern Uganda, under their umbrella Northern Uganda Commercial Farmers Association, have petitioned Parliament over the proposed eviction of the non-complaint herdsmen known as Balalo in northern Uganda. Now, they claim that evictions must follow lawful procedures, including court orders, notice and compensation, if applicable, and verification of land ownership in the region before eviction.
Balalo cattle herders in northern Uganda, under their umbrella Northern Uganda Commercial Farmers Association, is an organization with thousands of members involved in commercial livestock farming in northern Uganda. Following the executive order, the organization held consultative meetings within the region, showing disagreements.
The certain man here in Roho was Balalo in his area, but when you go to arrest those cattle, then the Balalo will become aggressive on him. The same thing applies to me.
LOC wants, I would like you to make sure that no animal is grazing outside the fence.
Today, the organization has presented a petition to Parliament seeking more interventions. These are claiming unfair evictions, seeking for verification of land ownership before eviction.
These people, some of them have titles, they have bought land. Some of them, they are renting this land. They have paid their money, millions and millions of money. Why is the government so quiet about this? Because people have paid millions of money.
First, verify, and then if you find out there are people who are non-compliant, then evict them. That is understandable.
For us, we say customary land is not for sale. A family cannot sell customary land. You need to call the whole clan of 5,000 people to agree that we are going to rent land or sell land. So those sales, we persuaded government that it is void ab initio. It is invalid because you cannot pay wrong.
Some are also suggesting for lawful procedures of court orders and compensation if applicable.
To know, is Northern Uganda a country on its own? If that is the case, then we need to know that. That should be defined. If it's the Republic of Northern Uganda, then we know. But if it's Uganda and the Constitution says that any Ugandan deserves to stay anywhere in Uganda, if you rightly bought the land, then we need to know why the eviction and why the panic.
People are being hurt, people are spending.
We are so hurt.
The Balalo cattle headers were given up to 25th June 2025 to leave northern Uganda before forceful evictions. Lydia Chomkama, UBC News.
The Vice President of Uganda, retired Major Jessica Lupo, has called for the protection of water bodies to sustain fish production and other critical water uses. Speaking during the World Aquaculture Safari 2025, the Vice President, who represented the President, emphasized the need for cross-border cooperation to ensure safe and sustainable water resources across the region. We have more.
In a statement delivered on behalf of the President, it was noted that Uganda has made significant strides in fish production since the NRM came into power, with an estimated production reaching 500,000 metric tons annually. This has been through interventions such as the revitalization of the sector and providing fingerlings, among others.
The first step that the NRM took to revamp the fish sector was to attract investors into the sector, and since then, Uganda has registered remarkable success. However, in order for the sector to thrive, we must consolidate the efforts towards regional and continental market integration and also work together as a bloc, as opposed to development of just independent countries.
Alupo stated the need for cross-border collaboration in protecting and preserving water bodies to allow increased production of fish.
We should ensure that our water bodies are not contaminated at any cost, because the water bodies which are contaminated will make the fish to be exterminated. But most important, the water is for multi-purpose reasons.
Minister of State for Fisheries, Helen Adowa, said the conference provides a platform to showcase Africa-led innovations and link them to international forums. She says the ministry has prioritized aquaculture as a long and medium-term intervention to raise fish production, addressing long-standing challenges like the lack of quality fish, said.
As government, we have been able to give out a lot of fingerlings. We have given out a lot of feed to fish farmers. How do we do it? The fish farmer, wherever he is or she is, goes to the district to be recognized that I do fish farming. And the team visits that person and he writes to the headquarters.
Among other concerns raised was the pollution of water bodies due to human activities, which has reduced fish quality and quantity.
A pregnant woman does not want a man who comes back late and bangs the door. You can easily cause miscarriage. So are the fish. When they are pregnant, they need that quietness, that is singing of birds near them. But it's unfortunate human activity has destroyed the environment around the fish, where they breed from.
Harmonized guidelines for cage farming,
for seed and feed standards, which is an issue that is affecting the stunting of fish, and also aquatic animal health. And all these are being adapted by the partner states.
The delegates called for increased support for small-scale fish farmers and for measures to protect wetlands from destruction, citing the need for controlled use of agricultural fertilizers to prevent the contamination of water bodies.
And also, agricultural practices should also be monitored so that we don't have the effluence of fertilizers and all that going directly into our water bodies.
We also have to look at the small-scale farmers, and there is a living to be made in this. And when we think about, that people have a better life in the near future.
The European Union is working, to supporting aquaculture value chains and innovative solutions.
Mary Namkose, UBC News.
Thank you, Mary Namakose. Now, the China Communication Construction has reaffirmed its commitment to repair Isimba Dam. This was during a meeting with the Prime Minister of Uganda, Honorable Robina Nabanja, at her office in Kampala.
Recently, the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, was in China to represent the government of Uganda at the China-Africa Trade Expo. During her visit, she met the managers of the China International Water and Electric Corporation, which constructed Isimba Dam, a subsidiary company to China Communication Construction Company. The Prime Minister invited the company to Uganda for a dialogue to finding a lasting solution to the defects on Isimba Dam.
The issues that are failing Isimba Dam are because of the contractor's inability. Why should the government be the one to incur the cost? I thought it would be the contractor to put right those other issues.
I'm just encouraging you to sacrifice, get money from wherever, and you work on the defects. Postponement of the problem can no longer help. Just make this as a deal that has gone bad in terms of getting profits. Save her, save the president who has goodwill for you. Goodwill for you.
This morning, the Prime Minister Robina Nabanja made a delegation from China, led by the Chinese ambassador to Uganda, Zhang Lizong, and the Vice President of CCCC, Yong Xisheng. The Prime Minister proposed to schedule a meeting to have the Chinese company meet the President to resolve the impasse.
The President gave us actionable points in 2022. Some things have been done, others have not. Let the contractors go ahead and do the repairs like you have directed, but let us go and meet the President, basically to address what we agreed on.
And that is the standard methodology the world over. So we are asking for a root cause analysis, but now it's 2 years down the road, and there is no root cause analysis report.
3 years.
3 years down the road. So this is how it is done in China, everywhere. I was in China 2 weeks ago. We had a hydropower conference, and these are the issues we are discussing. So I don't know why the contractor, he spends all this time and all these things are not done.
However, the Chinese ambassador to Uganda, Zhang Lizong, and the Vice President of CCC, Yong Xisheng, assured the Prime Minister that the defects will be rectified at their expense, not the government of Uganda.
For defects, other defects, I think why it take too long? I also asked the contract because we want to see them settled soon. So today, I think I want to emphasize that the embassy put great importance on this issue. We hope both sides can find a solution, and I hope CCCC.
Therefore, I give the instruction to our ground site team, technical team, to cooperate with clients and owners engineer to discuss technical issues and reach an agreement about those dispute technical issues. So thanks to the UGC to cooperate with us, we finalize the emergency repair.
So far the work CCCC has done in this country is commendable. CWE is the contractor that we have issues with, not CCCC. And therefore, since CWE is a subsidiary of CCCC, and now CCCC has taken over, we have a lot of hope that this work will be done.
UBC News Tonight. Now, the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Annette Among, has challenged youth in Katakwi district to explore their talents through sports for a better livelihood. Among pledges a sports stadium for Katakwi district to boost sports talents among youths in the area. This, she said, during the official launch of campaigns for Peter Ogwang, who is seeking re-election as Member of Parliament for Ngariam County.
On the motor vehicles, on foot, and on motorcycles. This is how yellow Katakwi Bridge was painted. The man of the moment was Peter Ogwang, who was welcomed by this mammoth crowd. In the company of the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among Annette, the destination was Katakwi District Bomber Grounds. Anita was here to officially launch Peter Ogwang's re-election bid. The message by the Speaker was to ensure the hard work exhibited by Ogwang is not lost. She underscored the need to promote talent among youth, pledging a stadium for sports promotion.
So here we are only here today to celebrate the achievements of the NRM in this area, but also to ask them to support Lord Kaguta Museveni from the presidency 2026-2031, but also to support them to maintain NRM in government.
Ogwang, who is also State Minister for Sports, pledged more service once re-elected.
The last 15 years he has been on mainly on issue of peace and security. And I want to confirm, now here we are living peacefully. Now, in terms of the recovery, the PDM has come to support our farmers. Now the other government programs, education, water, roads, name it, all are fully being implemented here.
The occasion was graced by music performances from musician Eddie Kenzo, among other artists. Ogwang currently faces Dan Mlalu and Augustine Otuko, both seeking the NRM party flag to represent Ngariam County in Parliament. Henry Okrut, UBC.
All right, now the first Deputy Prime Minister and Kamuli District Member of Parliament, Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga, has been nominated by the NRM Electoral Commission. Kadaga, who was accompanied by her supporters, expressed confidence in her ability to retain her seat.
As political atmosphere continues to go high among political parties, the first Deputy Prime Minister, Rebecca Kadaga, accompanied with various supporters, has been nominated. Kadag highlighted the ongoing projects including the Jinja Airport, road construction and education improvements that she seeks to complete.
Mburamuti, Nakandulo, Iringa, Bukungu Road and the ferries. I need to see those accomplished. The ships are there, but they are not yet operational.
Kadaga warned her opponents to be prepared for a tough contest. When asked about potentially facing off against the Speaker of Parliament for the NRM Deputy Chairperson seat, Kadaga expressed confidence in her own abilities.
And it's time to announce the dates for the Central Executive Committee expression of interest. So I'm saying I will be back. As soon as they announce, I will be back. And you'll hear from me. I'm very much in the race.
Other ministers, including P.C. Mutuzo and Ongalo Obote, were also nominated.
Three facilities, and I'm one of those strong pillars that would really want to advocate to have health centers completed.
The confidence of the people in the democratic process. What you see here today is democracy in action.
A leader who understands and diagnoses the problems properly and can offer better strategies. We all agree in the last year's primary living examination, a whole constituency produced only one first grade. That's a disaster.
The candidates emphasized the need to address poverty, poor roads, and youth unemployment in their communities.
At the level of a district hospital, making sure that the people who were affected by floods of Kanara Town Council, Kanara Sub-County and part of Tungama are relocated and resettled.
We want to go, serve the people, work for the people, have good laws for the people, which can develop the people and our country.
Hati baheza kumpandika omikono ya tango doi nuwe yanda anjiranka kande tumutongore ahantebe ya chairman LC5 abwaka mwenge kukwata bendera.
Many party members praised the NRM Electoral Commission for organizing a smooth nominations process.
Experience I've been seeing, I've been moving within this constituency, there have been those kind of gaps on roads. Then the issue of water. There are some places like in Chiringente, there's an issue of water. The pipeline is not yet enough for all the sub-county.
And I request your support as we take on Kabale municipality and we bring it back to the NRM system.
The people want, and I'm dedicatedly to serve them, the real people. A teacher by profession.
Crispus Arinitwe, Joseph Moyingo, UBS News.
President Museveni has called for nationwide nutrition campaigns as a foundation for Uganda's sports development. The president made the remarks during a luncheon at State House in Entebbe, where he and the First Lady honored 3 national teams that have brought Uganda international glory in football, basketball and rugby. Take a look.
Today's luncheon right here in Entebbe State House in honor of the national team is a powerful affirmation of the value our nation places on sports.
The national team of the Gazelles, the seniors, and the national team for the men's, the Silverbacks, will all be representing Africa, all happening this year, thanks to your continued support. So congratulations, and that's a big statement to what basketball has happened. The
greetings and say happy birthday, Mama. Your Excellency, it's an honor to be invited here, leading a team or teams that have made history for our country. Before you are your Abazukuru, who have made this country very proud. Nothing brings us together like sport in this country. You've been preaching the politics of division and identity and instead follow the line of interest. Your Excellency, when our children using their talents go out and perform, carrying the flag of this country, singing the national anthem of
the sector has registered outstanding achievements, as you just heard from Honorable Magogo, in the various sports disciplines over the years. And we know, as he said indeed, we know that this would not be possible without peaceful and a stable nation. So we thank God. We thank our God for his goodness and mercy. And we thank you for being used of him, for the sacrifices you have made to pay to ensure a stable and enabling environment for our young people and their population and the population of this country to thrive in this nation.
It's now 60 years since I was last a sportsman, because I was last active in sports in 1966. It's almost 60 years now. As a footballer, as a cricketer. Now I notice that new things have happened in sports. In our time, women were not in basketball. Now they are basketballers. And the Ugandan women are doing well because they are tall, they are tough. They eat millet.
In more news this evening, the Minister for Trade, David Bahati, has urged the public to actively participate in the elimination of plastics, which pose a serious threat to food safety and public health. Bahati made these remarks during the World Environment Day celebrations held in Kabale district, where he represented the head of state.
The mismanagement of plastic waste remains a significant challenge to both the environment and human health, threatening the ecosystem and food security. Although several tons of plastic are produced daily in the country, 90% of the non-recyclable plastic waste ends up in the environment. During the celebrations to mark the World Environment Day, emphasis was placed on proper plastic waste management, recycling, and the promotion of eco-friendly alternatives to plastic use.
We suffer the brunt of plastic Kavera pollution after we have paid for it. 2, we suffer by government looking after drainage channels, spending more money on addressing health hazards like enhanced malaria, cancers from this Kavera. Which resources government would have used to offer alternative services to the citizens.
He called for amendments to the ban on the production of plastics below 30 microns, the restoration of wetlands, and the adoption of the emission-free equipment and vehicles.
We believe now is the time to move from 30 microns and eliminate single-use carrier bags so that we can focus on managing PET bottles. We cannot eliminate plastics because we all know we can't do without plastics. But we must eliminate problematic and bad plastics, and the Kavera is one such plastic.
Focus now is to recruit at least 70 environmental rangers in the financial year 2025-2026. Will be trained and deployed to enhance NEMA capabilities in enforcement. Our target is the long term, or in the long term, is to have 2,500 environmental protection force to effectively protect the environment across the country.
The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Water, Dr. Alfred Okoti Okidi, called for combined efforts to address environmental degradation in line with achieving Vision 2040.
Foster strong collaboration across borders. Plastic pollution knows no boundaries. What is discarded in Kampala today can end up in Lake Victoria, or it can be discarded up anywhere, and flows into neighboring countries. Let us therefore embrace regional cooperation and global solidarity in this fight.
In Kampala alone, over 600 tons of plastic waste are generated daily, yet only 40% is collected. The rest ends up clogging drainage systems, polluting water bodies.
Shown us that microplastic particularly affects the reproductive system of men. Scientific research has shown that our food sources are now contaminated with microplastic. The consumption of food contaminated with microplastic poses a grave threat to our health, including the development of cancer.
The National Resistance Movement is set to start giving out interest forms to the Central Executive Committee SEC members for nominations who intend to contest. The chairperson of the NRM Electoral Commission, Dr. Tanga Odoi, says the process will start on the 26th of June to the 1st of July with expression of interest. He was speaking to the media in Chadondo.
The Electoral Commission has today announced the release of the expression of interest and nomination roadmap of party members who intend to contest for positions on the Central Executive Committee. SEC is the NRM's top organ charged with strategic guidance and decision-making. According to the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Dr. Tanga Odoi, the process will commence on 26th June to July 1st with the expression of interest. Nominations will take place from July 2nd to 4th.
In the middle of this week, 26th, we start SEC nomination, SEC expression of interest. Central executive members will come to express interest. Nomination of SEC members starts on the 2nd up to 4th.
His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni will headline the roadmap with the picking of the nomination forms for the NRM chairman and party flag bearer this Saturday, 28th.
We are doing the two things. We are nominating him for that and even for the presidential flag bearer. Because MPs have finished, we must also move to him.
Meanwhile, nomination of members of parliament continue with more aspirants who believe they can raise the standards of living of their people, continue to return their forms in high gear.
People staying in Arua City, I want to tell you, if you are a youth who is unemployed, you have studied, you have some skill, support me.
I want to encourage my Busia people. You have raised a daughter, you have raised a sister, you have raised a friend, and here she is.
I have been nominated to run for Member of Parliament for Rukunjiri Municipality as an NRM candidate. For my case in Rukunjiri Municipality, we've so far done a lot.
See a continuity in development of infrastructure like roads. We have an impending road, the Katino-Chero Road.
Nasoro Sharon Omotoni, who is looking at being the youth MP for Buganda region, believes she is the best candidate to represent the youth and their concerns.
Main agenda as this candidature bases on 3 or 4 major priorities. 1 is rampant youth unemployment in this region. 2 is the access to quality education and skills training that we are lacking. 3 is mental awareness.
People expect a lot of change in Maracha. We are going to do a lot of social services. We are going to change a lot of things in Maracha in terms of cooperation from the district.
People of Chadondo, that this time around, Chadondo East, we are going to overcome the challenges we do have.
Say, it being now one of the biggest districts, I will make sure that I kneel before the president for its spirit, such as that.
Jane Nyiramcha reporting for UBC.
The president of the National Unity Platform, Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, has today officially submitted his nomination papers to contest as the party's presidential flag bearer in the 2026 general elections. The nomination exercise was conducted at the NUP headquarters in Makere, Kavule, where the Electoral Management Committee confirmed that the nomination process for the party's presidential candidate has now been concluded, with Kyagulanyi emerging as sole aspirant.
It was around 3 p.m. when the president of the National Unity Platform, Robert Kyagulanyi, accompanied by his wife, Babi Kyagulanyi, their son, relatives of political prisoners, including wives and mothers, and several senior party leaders arrived at the headquarters amid cheers and chants from enthusiastic supporters.
Hand over this to you as proof that you submitted your documents, Mr. President of the National Unity Platform, as we wait for other candidates. Thank you so much.
After examining his documents, the committee cleared him to run for the presidency under the NUP ticket, officially endorsing him as the party's flag bearer.
Following the legal process of the party, where we ran an advert, people have responded. A few days ago, already came, but her papers were missing some main ingredients. But Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu has been here so far. He's the only candidate we are having as we talk now.
Robert Kyagulanyi promises to put up a strong contest to win this election and called upon all Ugandans to stand with him to fight for the freedom and to continue demanding the rights of their comrades in prison.
I hereby present myself to hold the flag of the National Unity Platform in the forthcoming 2026 presidential elections. I've submitted my documents and I'm ready and good to go.
He particularly emphasized solidarity with political prisoners, including figures like Eddie Mutwe, and vowed to continue advocating for their release and justice.
Come ready and good to go. My promise to you, members of the National Unity Platform, if you trust me with the flag of the party once again, I promise not to let you down. I promise to bring victory. I'm not guaranteeing the announcement, but I trust that with efforts of all of us, friends, we can have our victory announced. I am sure we are going to get the victory.
The atmosphere at the headquarters was charged with excitement as supporters broke into songs, ululations and chants of unity, while Kyagulanyi exited the venue, marking a symbolic moment in NUP's roadmap to 2026. Crispus Arenitwe, Jamil Sekaja, UBC News.
The Uganda People's Congress UPC has issued a strong caution to party members against defying its official position that prohibits candidates from running as independents after losing the party primaries. Now, the party warns that such individuals risk losing their membership. This announcement comes as the party calls upon members interested in participating in the upcoming elections to express their intent by picking nomination forms.
Like other political parties, the Uganda People's Congress Party is actively preparing its members to represent the party in the forthcoming elections. Party members who wish to contest for various positions across the country are being urged to begin expressing their interest by collecting nomination forms.
The printing and returning of application, scope declaration of interest form for the party flag bearers for the positions of constituency MPs and district scope state woman member of parliament shall be from 10th to 15th of August 2025, and those forms shall be picked here at the party headquarters.
However, the UPC head of communications, Faizo Mzee, has cautioned members against running as independents should they lose in the party primaries.
That whoever participates in the internal process and does not go through in the party primaries, please accept the results of the party primaries and rally your support behind the successful UPC flag bearer.
Mzee emphasized that any member who goes against the party's rules will risk losing their UPC membership.
When you stand against it or you finance against it a duly nominated UPC flag bearer for any elective position, you cease immediately to a member of the UPC.
He reiterated that in the past elections, the party lost many seats due to the personal ambitions of individuals who contested as independents.
We have lost a number of seats because of the behavior of standing independent against a duly nominated UPC Flagabiala.
UPC has released a detailed roadmap for its party primaries and called on all interested persons to respect the form collection timelines and submission deadlines. The process is set to begin on 10th July 2025, with primaries scheduled to take place between 8th and 10th August 2025. Shaidat Nasakum, UBC News.
Now, Pastor Robert Kayanja of Miracle Center Cathedral in Vaga has called on fellow religious leaders to focus on healing people's souls rather than becoming entangled in divisive issues, which he described as meaningless. Now, his message emphasizes the spiritual mission of faith leaders, urging them to prioritize unity, compassion, and inner transformation over political or ideological disputes. Now, he was speaking at a press conference in Lubaga ahead of the launch of the two-day gospel crusade hosted by Pastor Benny Hinn from the United States.
Born-again community and believers from different walks of life are eagerly waiting to participate in a national gospel crusade led by Tofik Benedictus, famously known as Ben Hinn, an Israel-born Palestinian-American-Canadian televangelist, best known for his regular miracle crusades, revival meeting and faith healing, who is expected to visit the country on 27th June. With only days left for the evangelical crusade to happen, Miracle Center Church leader Pastor Robert Kayanja in a press briefing said all is set for Pastor Ben Hinn's visit.
We are also grateful to the Kingdom of Buganda, which has allowed us to park in Lubiri for the general public and pastors and others. So that way they will be able to drive their car, whether you have a sticker or you don't have a sticker. When you come in and you have your car or your motorcycle, you will be using the ring road that goes to Ndeba and Katwe.
Pastor Robert Kayanja recently emphasized the importance of integrity and spiritual focus among religious leaders and healers. He urged them to concentrate on their primary roles, praying for people and guiding them in faith, rather than engaging in gossip.
We believe that the first time he came, the roads in Kampala were not like it is today. Probably those are 10, 12 years ago. Maybe even many universities were not here, many businesses were not here. Came back the second time, things that now many things have improved. So we have a lot of things to do. The airport looks much more beautiful. So I want to ask the people of Uganda to take advantage of this weekend because it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Kayanja, a prominent Ugandan Pentecostal leader and founder of Miracle Center Cathedral, has publicly praised the Ugandan government for upholding freedom of religion.
We want also to thank God for the freedom of worship we have, because without freedoms and security and peace, you cannot conduct an event like this. It ended up being a healing service, because that's what is really called to do, to bring healing to the nations. And we want also to thank God for the freedom of worship we have, because without freedoms and security and peace, you cannot conduct an event like this. It ended up being a healing service.
Amai Vanjuko for UBC.
UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but return with more stories after these messages.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo. Dial *165 *80 hash. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. enter the student number and amount, and approve the transaction. You will now enter the draw to win school fees for your child for a whole year.
I got to learn about the Powerball through the website www.nationallottery.go.ug. Played Powerball tickets worth 5,000, used an option of quick pick, and that's how I was able to be the lucky one to win 35 million. I checked my tickets online and I found out that I had winning numbers. The feeling was incredible and full of excitement. I would advise everyone who is 18 and above that whatever you're seeing here exemplifies reality. And I want to take this opportunity to thank Uganda National Lottery for bringing us this opportunity to win millions.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win. Uniquely ours. Explore Uganda.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo. Star 165 star 80 hash. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You will now enter the draw to win school fees for your child for a whole year.
Uniquely ours. Explore Uganda.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Brought to you by
Welcome back from that break. And now, before we get into our business news, up next is Buza Commissioner, where the Commissioner General of URA answers some of your burning questions.
Buza Kamiso now.
I am called Apai Fiona. A lot of people know me as Diena Kakua because I am proud of where I come from. I am a journalist who has ventured into business and farming. I own a boutique in Arua town, and also I direct Nyolani Investments Limited. Maybe URA should have a training, I don't know if it can be called a workshop, that business owners are trained on how the tax is done, to avoid us having fights with these URA guys when they are doing their work and when they are in the field.
Yes, a very valid point, Fiona, because taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it as easy to understand and to comply with is through engagements. So we have been doing engagements, and we promise that in the new financial year we'll take them a scale even higher. We've been having visits to the regions, sensitizing them on tax matters. We normally refer to these as tax barazas, tax clinics, and many other tax engagements. But what we want to do this time is to formally announce, because we noticed that the turn-up has been low. You are in Arua town, you speak to some taxpayers, others do not turn up, maybe because they do not know. So what we are going to do at the beginning of the new financial year is to publish a calendar for our visits of tax clinics or tax barazas per region, per town, for the whole year, so that you know, and we shall remind you through adverts and all sorts of communication, through radios and TVs, that we'll be in this city on this date at this time to address tax issues. And then we can spend a whole day or two speaking about the tax issues that relate to you as an area. Because the challenges of taxation in West Nile region or in Arua town are definitely different from those in Kampala. Here we are in the center of the country, there you are at the border, dealing with all sorts of cross-border businesses and their challenges. So we promise you and all our taxpayers that next financial year we'll have published days for tax engagements. We will remind you, please stand up, listen, ask these questions so that we can be on the same footing. We have seen this effort of engagement pay off. The number of taxpayers who previously were not paying because they didn't know, and it was never their fault. They didn't know it was their responsibility to collect pay as you earn from their workers. They didn't know it was their responsibility to file for income tax. But after some engagements, they've taken the initiative. They are now contributing towards the development of their country, and we want to continue sharing the good news with everybody so that more citizens can participate in the development of their country by paying their fair share of tax. So you have requested and invited people who are willing and who are ready to come. We'll see you very soon.
Buza Kamiso now. Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them.
Welcome back from that segment. Now, in our business news this evening, Uganda has hosted the inaugural Middle East Africa Digital Transformation Summit at Kampala Serena Hotel, bringing together leaders, innovators and policymakers to foster cross-regional technology exchange and digital benchmarking. We have the details.
The three-day summit, running from June 25th to 27th, was officially opened by the Prime Minister Robina Nabanja, representing President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni as guest of honor.
I am pleased to welcome you, all our visitors who have come to Uganda to attend the 2025 edition of the Middle East and Africa Digital Transformation Summit. It is an honor for us to host this summit for the first time. Thank you for choosing Uganda.
The event drew dignitaries including Joyce Sebugwao, the Minister of State for ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Bariomonsi, the Minister of ICT and National Guidance, who underscored the urgent need for the Global South to accelerate digital adoption.
There are also areas which we have pioneered. You know, we have innovation funds, for instance, where we've been encouraging our young people, our graduates of ICT to innovate and come up with solutions. So even our friends from the rest of the world have things to learn from us.
Under the theme, Driving Digital Transformation for a Connected and Inclusive MEA Region, the summit spotlights collaboration in policy, financial technology, cybersecurity, administration and public service delivery.
So many of our fellow Africans, Ugandans, Zambians and the likes have traveled for what they call greener pastures. But many go with little or no skills. You've seen many dying, you've seen many getting problems and getting imprisoned and the likes. Yet, it is not only for the negative reasons. The region has grown in collaboration, in exchange of skills and services, in investment, things like Islamic banking today that is worth more than $2.1 trillion as an industry, is an opportunity for Africa.
Participants explored how digitization can revolutionize bilateral trade, enabling seamless cross-border transactions and boosting economic integration between Africa and the Middle East.
First and foremost, we need to mobilize resources jointly in the Middle East and Africa so that we can harness the advantages that we can get from that collaboration.
The summit aligns with Uganda's Vision 2040 and the East African Community's Vision 2050. It aims to position Uganda as a regional digital hub, leveraging technology to drive sustainable development and inclusive growth and shaping a digitally empowered future for Africa and the Middle East. Wadulo Arnold Mark in Kampala.
The Uganda Registration Services Bureau has unveiled the inaugural edition of the URSB Case Digest, a groundbreaking development set to reshape company and intellectual property law in Uganda. The launch event, held at the URSB head office in Kololo, was graced by Justice Mike Chibita of the Supreme Court of Uganda.
Justice Mike Chibita of the Supreme Court of Uganda officially launched the inaugural edition of the Uganda Registration Services Bureau Case Digest, describing it as a critical tool in the ongoing transformation of Uganda's legal landscape.
For entrepreneurs, scholars, researchers and investors, the digest will provide clear precedents on matters relating to company registration, insolvency and intellectual property rights, which will reduce uncertainty, thereby encouraging investment and economic growth. For academia, legal practitioners, students of law and business, it will enrich legal education, bridging the gap between theory and actual practice.
The digest is expected to make a significant impact on the business community by distilling key rulings and legal principles. This will foster predictability, consistency, and confidence in Uganda's legal frameworks.
It is a very important tool in the administration of justice because it promotes certainty of law. You know, you can research, you can get to the law very easily by reading through this digest and see decisions which have been made before and which are of guidance.
With the launch of its first ever case digest, Uganda Registration Services Bureau aims to strengthen legal research, support access to justice, and provide clarity for both the legal fraternity and the business community. Available in soft and hard copies, the digest also sheds light on emerging legal trends and gaps that can guide future judicial decisions.
The digest contains cases heard by us as lawyers and decisions made on the basis of the decision. So the same way you see court judgments. So these are our judgments, in other words, at Uganda Registration Services Bureau. There's a lot of learning from those judgments, but also we're capturing the memory. But we said for the people who want to learn for the future, for the future business owners, or to understand the rights of people who own companies, people who own intellectual property, people who are going through the insolvency and receivership, people who are infringing intellectual property. It is important that these cases are read and understood in terms of the principles of law and setting precedent, but also jurisprudence.
This initiative is a timely intervention, especially as Uganda's justice sector continues to grapple with challenges such as case backlogs, delays in resolving commercial disputes, and inconsistent rulings, all of which continue to undermine public trust. Dennis Igoa for UBC.
Uniquely ours. Explore Uganda.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful kids water park. We are located on Aroa Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Aroa City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotelconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels, and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukota Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor. Welcome back from that break, and now into sports. President Museveni has called for nationwide nutrition campaigns as a foundation for Uganda's sports development. The president made the remarks during a luncheon at State House in Entebbe, where he and the First Lady honored 3 national teams that have brought Uganda international glory in football, basketball, and rugby.
Mama, Your Excellency, it's an honor to be invited here, leading a team or teams that have made history for our country. Before you are your Abazukuru, who have made this country very proud. Nothing brings us together like sport in this country.
And come July, we are hosting Rugby Africa Championship, which is a World Cup qualifier for Australia 2027. 8 top teams in Africa will be competing for one position, and Nambole is hosting these games at a high level. Thank you very much.
In the country, as I speak this year, our under-16, the national team of the Gazelles, the seniors, and the national team for the men's, the Silverbacks, will all be representing Africa, all happening this year, thanks to your continued support. So congratulations, and that's a big statement to what basketball has happened.
Excellency, I want to start by thanking you for always making the time to celebrate our young people who continue to raise our flag globally. The sports subsector has registered outstanding achievements, as you just heard from Honorable Magogo, in the various sports disciplines over the years.
Because some players are at school and they would not
and
be
we know,
able to join.
as he said indeed,
Mama, but
we
I'll
know that
introduce
this would
particularly
not
one
be possible without peaceful and a stable nation. So we thank God. We thank our God for his goodness and mercy, and we thank you for being used of him, for the sacrifices you have made to pay to ensure a stable and enabling environment for our young people and their population and the population of this country to thrive in this nation.
Concentrate on work with the Minister of Health about nutrition. It's part of sports development, in my view. If the families learn how to feed their children well, using the food they have, because they don't know, they think matoke with omunyo, with the salt, that this is good food. That's not enough. Why can't the sports fraternity partner with the Minister of Health through the districts to every two weeks to give a talk on the radio, not only about for sports, but you talk about good nutrition and public health. What Mama is saying, discipline, avoiding sicknesses by young people from indiscipline, from alcohol, from promiscuity, and so on. So that healthy, well-fed population will produce an explosion of sports people, you will see.
And with that, UBC News Tonight has come to an end. Thank you so much for your company this evening. Now, on behalf of the team that has put this news bulletin together, I would like to wish you a good night.
A+ Funeral Management, on behalf of URA, with deep sorrow, announces the death of their beloved employee, Julius Kinyera.
which occurred on Friday, the 20th of June 2025 at Medipal International Hospital. Vigil will be held at his home in Gulu on Thursday, the 26th of June 2025. The body will be taken to Nwoya District Anaka Town Council, Kona Nwoya Kweyo Ward for another night vigil on Friday, the 27th of June 2025, starting at 10 a.m. Burial will take place at Nwoya District Anaka Town Council, Kona Nwoya Kweyo Ward, starting with funeral service at 12 noon. Informed our relatives, friends, and in-laws. May his soul rest in eternal peace. A+ Funeral Management, on behalf of the family of the late Misairi Mukwenda of Karugutu West Cell Ibanda Ward, Karugutu Town Council, Ntoroko District, with deep sorrow announces the death of their beloved father, husband, uncle, and friend Misairi Mukwenda, which occurred on Tuesday, the 24th of June 2025 at Uganda Cancer Institute, Mulago Hospital, Kampala. Vigil will be held at their home in Karugutu West Cell Ibanda Ward, Karugutu Town Council, Ntoroko District, on Thursday, the 26th of June 2025. Burial will take place at his home in Karugutu West Cell Ibanda Ward, Karugutu Town Council, Ntoroko District on Friday, the 27th of June 2025 at 2 p.m. starting with a funeral service at 1 p.m. Informed are the Prime Minister Obusingabwa Rwenzururu, the President of Democratic Party, the Chairperson, Local Council of Ntoroko, Bundibujo and Kasese District, relatives, friends and in-laws. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the